Good morning. It's Chrissy Key Rollins here, bringing you this week's live energy update. Now, I know you've been feeling it, regardless if you're consciously aware of it or not. The energy of the past few weeks have been super duper intense. It has looked a lot like things going off course, technology not working right, communication at a very, very low point, and miscommunication at a very high point. And it has been an ongoing series of, here we go again. Why am I dealing with this again? I thought that I was over this by now. So if you've been feeling this repetition happening in your world, and you've been feeling the craziness going off track, take a breath, because one thing that is working in our favor right now is that Mercury is back on course. So we have moved out of Mercury retrograde. And anytime Mercury is in retrograde, it's an opportunity to face similar situations that you have faced in the past, but to go about it in a completely different way. It's a great time to go and heal old wounds, a great time to make peace in areas where you have frustration and angst. And now that things have kind of settled, things are going a little bit back on course, you should find a little bit of relief, a little upswing of energy. Hey, Victoria, good morning. Lovely to see you here. Let me know your thoughts if you can relate to any of this. So you should have, like, towards the end of last week, you probably have noticed a little sense of relief, a little bit of breathing space, a little bit of everything's just kind of flowing nicely now. Or maybe you had to face those confrontations and you found that they weren't so overwhelming. Now, you're going to be in one of two places. You are getting this opportunity to go through similar situations, but being different than how you were before. So you're either facing these situations in a completely different way, ending cycles, finding new resolution, and moving on to another space, or you are finding yourself repeating the same patterns, the same fears, the same concerns. More money flow and abundance is what Victoria is saying. Yes, that's absolutely, the time is right for that right now. There's been that shift. Now, there's a lot of things that we can point to. If we look on the physical level, there's a lot of reasons why things get crazy in the summertime. School's out, so if you are a parent with a child that is in school, then your world changes from that. Vacations happen a lot of times, that the temperatures heat up, everybody gets that itch to go outside and play. So there's a lot of things physically that we can look at to say, oh, July is the busiest month of the year for vacations, so naturally businesses are very low in the month of July, or don't expect a lot of increase in your business, or don't expect to get new clients on. Now, this may be the case, and it may be like overall the case, but really your individual experience is your individual experience, and this world is unfolding according to the way that you are showing up. So if you're finding yourself feeling this intensity, hey Tracy, I hope you're doing so incredibly well. Great to see your face on here this morning. If you're feeling this intensity and you're reverting back to old habits, you're probably finding life is staying pretty much the same. Like, yep, this is what I expected. Yep, this is what happens. Yep, this is the way it always goes. But if you're feeling that little edge, and this time you're doing something different. This time you're engaging curiosity. This time you're up-leveling the communication that you're bringing to the table. This time you're facing things head on instead of scampering away and hiding. I know there's some of you in hiding right now. It's okay. I still hide from some things that overwhelm me. So it's not about just being totally free of fear. It's recognizing that as a human, this is the process that you go through. And when we can change the relationship that we have with the fears that rise up within us, and we can shift the relationship that we have with ourselves, the one who experiences the fear, the one who moves through the fear, then we don't have to have such an intense experience just because it's July, or the kids are home, or the spouse is doing that, or the economy is doing this, right? So if you're feeling that pressure, and you haven't yet done so, I'm going to encourage you to take a look and go to the left instead of the right. Get curious about facing things head on to see what could lie on the other side. This is a great question that came up during one of my coaching sessions this past week. If you find yourself not taking action on something that really lines up with what it is that you're committed to, ultimately, if you find yourself not showing up, just ask yourself one simple question. What will I receive if I show up? What will I receive if I show up? So often we don't think of ourselves as the ones that are stopping us from having what we want. But when we start this level of inquiry, what will I receive if I show up? What will I receive if I speak my truth? then we could start to see, what if it's not stuck in our ways that we are, as much as stuck in our level of receiving. And for a lot of us, especially if you're on the entrepreneurial journey, bye Tracy, have a beautiful day. I'd love for you to come back in and catch the rest of this later. And hey Rachel, good morning. Love to see you on here. If you're finding yourself in this situation where you're getting this repeated pattern, you get the opportunity to change the way that you see yourself in that story. Challenge yourself to shift the narrative that you have playing along with the experiences that you witness to be one that matches up with a higher level of truth about yourself. And if you're like me and on an entrepreneurial journey, as many of us are, or just on this journey for something more, a more fulfilling, a more enriched, a more satisfying life, a more peaceful, a less overwhelming life experience, then learning how to receive is a key factor in this. Because one thing you'll begin to notice as you're feeling the pressure, the angst, the frustration of these cycles that happen in our life, a lot of the intensity that you feel is not because of what's happening outside, but because of what's happening inside. Your thought process, the narrative in the story that is going on in your mind over what is happening, why it's happening, and most importantly, what does it mean about you in the end? And when you can line up that narrative to one that lines up with what you really believe about this overall life, one that lines up with all of life conspiring to have your world and your desire unfold before you. I mean, hello, everywhere you go, look, life just unfolds in front of you. It looks like it's always been going on and you just stepped on the scene. But nah, baby, it is happening for you. Or what if it's happening for you? And what if you went into life in that sense? What if this intensity that I feel is not because of the circumstances around me, but because of the stories that I tell myself silently, underneath it, behind the scenes, what I tell myself about what these stories mean about me and what is possible for me. All that life is trying to do is shake us up and get us back aware of where we've come disconnected from the truth within ourselves and where we need to focus our attention and focus our healing to get back reconciled and reconnected with ourselves. And the card that came through for today to back up this little energy update that I'm bringing you, it's card number 25 in the deck. I love the number 25. I was born on December 25th, so every time I see 25, I always think about my birthday. It's card number 25 for you number lovers out there, and is the Selkie and her skin. The Selkie and her skin. And the message that is on this card is reclaiming your authenticity. You see, the Selkies were a specific breed of mermaids. They were this gorgeous mermaid that had this very soft, silvery skin and coat to their beings, much like seals. And the Selkies, they were coveted and they were caught and they were captured because of this beautiful skin. And one of the things that this card invites us to do is to really get to know, I'm getting chills just thinking about this, really get to know the skin that you are in. Who are you at a core soul level? The very essence of who you are, the truth of your own unique expression and beauty in this world. If you are having frustrations, challenges in life, most likely what you're bumping up against is this right here. Your authentic, true self wanting to be expressed in a world that you've made up a story that says there's no space for it, or it's not quite right, or they're not going to go for it. Amanda, so good to see you on here, babe. I literally was just thinking about you yesterday morning. Totally just thinking about you yesterday morning. I so hope that you're doing amazing. So this invitation is to be true to yourself. The way you break out of these cycles is that you speak your truth. You do what is right by you. And it can be extremely challenging to do because I see all kinds of emotions coming up here. It can be challenging to do because it can seem scary. It can seem scary. It can seem like this whole not enoughness. But in truth, the reason it feels like not enough is because you aren't bringing enough of your true self out to the table to play, out into the world to play. So ask yourself, what would I do if it was just ultimately up to me? What is the truest thing that I could say right now. Now, if you are not in a place where you can be so bold to speak these truths out loud, begin to connect to these truths within yourself. There is powerful healing and powerful shifts that can happen in your outer world by doing the internal work. And the internal work comes through retrospection and self-reflection in deep, gorgeous, juicy self-inquiry. To dive inside yourself, get to know who you are. If you're not in a place where you can bring that boldness out into the world, that is okay. The more you cultivate and get in touch with it within yourself, the more you rectify and have the conversations within yourself that you want to have outwardly in this world, the more you have that conversation going on inside of you. I mean, just think about it right now. Think about speaking your empowered truth within yourself versus this victim story of your circumstances and what's happening around you and what that means to you that has most likely been playing through your mind up until this point. So whatever challenge you're facing, whatever fear it is on your heart, if it's money and finances, if it's clients and income, if it's spousal steps moving forward, if it's parent-child, if it's whatever it is that is out there, ask yourself, what feels most right, true, authentic to me, and where am I not giving voice to that and recognition to that? One, outwardly, but two, and more importantly, inwardly. You begin to cultivate the environment that you want to have outwardly within yourself. Watch the world change, because all that this world is doing, it's doing its thing. But you don't ever really know what it's doing because you're interpreting all of it through your own filters. And if your filters are set up where you're disconnected from your true authentic self, or there's no space for it, it's going to be really hard for life to reflect that outwardly. Got it? It's an inside job. Take it internally. Ask yourself, where can I, hey, Colleen's brilliant at this as well. Where can I reclaim my authenticity? Where can I get to know my own skin better? And how can I better represent that in my communications, in my engagements with other people, but most importantly, within the own storylines that are playing through my mind, that are passing through my heart. Let me know how this hits for you today. Know that all this energy that is happening universally, planetarily, all of that stuff, everything, all of it, I'm telling you, all of it is backing up you getting what you want right now. It's all here, backing up you getting what you want right now. But life is so good, it is so great and loves you so much that it will be patient. It is the divine timeline, but it's your timeline because it's your world. So if you want to drag this out, then drag it out. If you're ready to be over it, flirt with the idea, dare to begin to lean towards being bold. And when you go into boldness with curiosity leading the way, I'm just curious about this, and let that lead your communication. I'm curious. Help me understand. Help me see. What did you mean by that? Right? When you lead with that curiosity, it allows everything around you to become redefined. And that's the superpower that we have in this world. We don't control outcomes. We control what those outcomes mean about us. That's where our power lies. Get to know yourself. Where can you be more authentic? And where can you challenge yourself to step forward and let life catch you, meet you, show you that that's actually what all of this repetition and suffering has been about, to free you of your ways of survival and your ways of being conditioned, and to get you back to your true divine nature. Definitely drop some comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can catch this every week, and plus all the other great videos that I put out. Also, join me over in the Conscious Success Community. You can get there on Facebook, Conscious Success Community Facebook group, or you can go to bit.ly Conscious Success Now and get a more in-depth spread. I'm going to use these gorgeous mermaid cards. I'm going to do a 3-card spread, drop it in there. You can go check it out, see which one calls to you, and let me know if this message is hitting home. Hey, Erica. Hey, Jackie. So good to see y'all on here. Wonderful having y'all tune in. Join me over in the Conscious Success Community, and let's keep this conversation going. Drop some comments below. Let me know, how have you been feeling? Have you been feeling this shift? Have you been speaking more boldly? Have you been breaking the cycles in your life? Would love to know. All right. See y'all soon. Bye.